I got one guy's trying to make up for a lack of audience by just clapping closer to the microphone.
I can do it too.
Woo! I am Medi. Yeah.
Worship me. Sorry, I went a bit Futurama there.
You did.
It's going to find how to breathe fire. All you kids out there?
Right now, we're going to welcome a guest who probably has no idea what the hell I was just talking about. But he's been on the program before. We're lucky to have him. A former truck driver turned comedian who is setting on fire right now. Please welcome to the show, Damien Cross-Greer.
What did I set on fire?
Barbecue at your house last week.
Yeah, true.
Oh, no, well, you're doing quite well at the minute. You're in the Just Saying competition.
I am, yes.
And you're doing quite well?
Yes, I was.
Yeah. You've made it through 2 rounds now? So you're in the grand final?
No.
No? You got
No.
kicked out?
I talked too long.
Ah, you got disqualified, did you? Yeah.
Hey, you do it for the laugh. So
That's
you don't
right.
stop because of a bell.
Rules.
I know someone else who might have done that at Just Saying comedy competition as well.
To my fair, I went to the tape, though.
Oh, I know. This was what Scott was
We were
Go to the
videotaping
tape.
that night, and I went back, and I was actually a second in my favor.
You just need an on-site.
But it was
ref.
fine, because I would
In
just
your
got
favour.
destroyed anyway.
So you should have won the Melbourne Cup.
Yes, right. I was running my ass off. So let's go back to the beginning, because I think the last time you were here, we didn't even really talk about your trucker past, because you did that for most of your adult life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of other lifetimes ago.
Right.
No, I've been around the transport and logistics industry basically ever since I left school. Well, before that.
Right. And so you've driven, I'm assuming there's pretty much not a corner of this country you haven't seen.
No, never been an interstate truck driver. Always a young man's game, always too old.
All right.
Yeah.
Even after you left high school.
I knew a fellow who gave away interstate driving. He said, "Why'd you give it up?" He said, "Truck stops and chips."
Right.
Now, wait a second. I've seen a lot of movies and stuff. Now, when you say you're an interstate
No,
truck
you?
driver, it means you're a spy.
No, he wasn't
No, a
an
murderer.
interstate driver.
Oh, you weren't? No. Oh, murderer. Okay, touche. Sorry, sir.
Get your genres and your cliches right. 'Cause fair
no,
dinkum.
no, with this, no, it doesn't work.
No, I'm now quantified by some people as a logistics comedian.
Right.
Sweet.
Yeah, the jokes are the same, but it's all the delivery is what's important.
Right. Because the reason I think I brought it up is because there was an article, of course, about you that I saw that was just, I think the person almost wet themselves because they could talk about, was it a trucking magazine that the article was in?
I think I'm probably the only stand-up comic who will ever have a 2-page spread in Truck and Life.
Yeah, because that person was just like, oh, I can do truck puns. And it was, he's a funny trucker, and all this kind of...
Yeah, there were loads of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading it going, easy, pump the brakes. Sir. You're letting them on a bit thick and thin. So how did you land the coveted 2-page spread in Trucker's Life?
By being around the industry and doing things along those lines. I've spent the last few years, apart from just doing stand-up, doing a lot of MC work for industry associations around the country. So yeah,
Right.
So there's a niche market of the one ex-truck driver who's a stand-up comic who can...
Right. I missed it. We could have been
See,
an
now,
industry of
if
two.
you take them on the driving of trucks, there you go. See?
Well, see, my dad drove truck, and no. He drove petrol. So, and you know,
diesel's better.
yeah, well, and then I just couldn't go. If you got hit, you'd explode. And he just went. I think he also muttered something about, I got an asshole kid at home, so
I'd rather be out.
yeah, totally worth it.
Every time he didn't see you playing with like a Tonka truck or a Land Mover and you're playing with Lego, he cried a little bit inside. I think.
All good trucks out of Lego.
Yeah, totally. They blow up. So what got you into comedy from doing that as your day job?
A lot of people look at me and say you're funny.
Right.
I don't even have to open my mouth quite often. No, I've done a lot of theatre stuff over the years and improv stuff. I played theatre sports in Melbourne in the early 90s.
Right.
And I threatened to do stand-up for a long time, and then eventually I did.
Somebody put you into a corner where you couldn't.
No, well, I kept saying, I did that one day, I'll do that one day, and one day turned up.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm not ready for one. Can it be tomorrow?
Yeah, and I wasn't happy with it, so I just keep doing it.
Yeah, just keep doing it out of spite.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I love stand-up. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
A mate of mine said, what about the audiences?
Actually,
Not like I'm there for their amusement.
I saw you. I thought you were fantastic.
Thanks,
I actually
Chris.
wanted to go up and hug you, but
I'll give
I
you
thought
the
it might
50.
be slightly inappropriate.
It's never stopped you before.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
You wouldn't be the first mental patient.
I know. Well, just in case you had a really wicked back slap. Because you know the way to do it is always the back slap.
Right.
You can slap someone, whatever, but you know, back slapping is like the classy way. If you have a glove, you can duel them. So, pretty much, yeah. Just in case you knew that, I was just,
Who said chivalry was dead?
yeah.
I also want to know if anyone wants a dictionary picture for verbal diarrhea.
Hey, I can continue.
That's what he was just saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just sprays out. There's an image for you. So you were in the competition, unfortunately disqualified, but you've been still doing everywhere.
Yeah,
else?
still doing gigs around the place. I'm off to Mackay this week.
To a brand new scene.
Bridget, you would have had on here on
Bridget,
stage, I think.
yeah, Griffith.
Bridget's moved back to Mackay and kicked off the Funny Bone Room, which starts this Friday.
Yeah, and it's interesting because here in Brisbane, you know, people create rooms all the time, but she's actually had to create a scene because Mackay doesn't have a comedy
She's just
scene.
the woman to create a scene. You ever seen her shopping?
I say we need comedy, and I'm flipping tables. And that's where they'll put the stage.
Yeah.
The stage is just all the tables she flipped to create the scene.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it should be good. So you're going all the way up to Mackay.
Yeah, so there's 3 or 4 young comics who'll probably be totally traumatised by travelling with me there and back. So. And I get to choose the music.
Oh, nice. And all the dad jokes and games?
Hey,
Sick.
Spotto, all the way.
I was always a Punch Buggy fan myself.
Yeah, some of my children have the scars to prove it.
That was the day when seatbelts weren't around, so I have the scars to prove it too. Game's over. Oh, okay. Explains so much. You should have been.
What? Huh?
Nothing.
Sorry.
So how do you find it in the scene, especially around a lot of the younger comedians? And because I mean,
There's a great amount of spirit in the people that get up and do it.
Yeah.
And it certainly, as you know, takes some guts to do that and to come back and keep doing it. I wonder about how many of them push their own ideas forward and don't just keep taking on ideas from watching video clips of this person and that person. People say to me, who's your favourite comic? And I don't do that. I don't do a favourite and say I want to be like this for gardening or like this for home renovations or like this for comedy. I just talk.
yeah.
So-
As soon as the words come out, I want to be the next. Insert there. I just kind of.
Why don't you be the first you? Yeah. I'd always like that plaque that people put up that says, be yourself. Everyone else is already taken.
See, I always be the, and it's an American thing, I think, most than anything, is that whenever we get into a hobby or anything, we kind of study the past, where it came from, read everything we can. Some of us, anyway, you know, the ones that weren't dating girls. I just
done a lot of study.
Yeah, lots of study, alone. So I know a lot, and the great thing about that I've always found is I have a lot of favorite comedians. I love all comedy, and I know where it goes. So I immediately know when I've written something, if I've stolen
Who
it.
you stole from.
And
At least you can
immediately
reference it.
yeah, you just kind of sit there
the
going,
footnotes.
oh, that's a hilarious joke. That's Lenny Bruce. God damn it! Which is you could get away with because I don't know many people, especially people in this country, who know who Lenny Bruce is. He's got a blank head. But that's always
English. He's English.
He's American.
Oh shit! I was next.
There was even a question on tonight's Comic Showdown. You should have known that.
It wasn't a
Hey,
it wasn't a contestant.
Yeah.
But he's totally getting a pie in the face.
I was distracted by a bell.
But yeah, it is great. But I think I get to go to some of the comedy rooms a lot because, like, especially during the competitions.
Yeah.
Because everyone's just like, just watch out if anyone's stealing anything. Because I'll sit there and go, Mitch Hedberg. Oh, Jerry Seinfeld, that's ballsy. And there's one particular comedian out there, I think about 89% is just completely from other people. And they'll get theirs one day.
I'm not doing that anymore.
I know you said you were going to do that.
Sorry.
Me either. Jordan Pearson. Poor. Has anyone ever heard from that guy again?
Oh, hasn't he got a reality television show now or something?
It's very changed.
This is your life? No?
Yeah, and it's just
It's
like,
not mine.
you grew up a poor black boy in Mississippi.
I think he's changed his name because you realise like his name is actually formulated by like the names of 2 countries. So he could be like.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know about countries.
Oh, okay. Okay. Jordan's a country. Oh, Paris. Oh, there we go. Yeah, sorry.
So you're thinking of Hilton, that's a country.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
That's a...
No.
I thought that was a. Continue.
Right. So yeah, it's good. So where do you find a lot of the inspiration for your comedy? Is it more of a just what you see or what you have seen, or do you sit there and try to formulate?
Well, the jokes that actually get laughs are really even much funnier to me because 9 times out of 10 they're just true stories. So.
I always find the weirdest thing is sometimes the biggest laugh I'll get in a night is a joke I came up with right before I get on stage. Then I'll do the stuff I'm scripting and it's like,
That's a novel concept. What's this? Scripting, what's that?
it's the act of hacking.
Research.
The act of reading teleprompter. I totally wish I had that thing every gig. Because unlike a lot of the comedians, and again, it's everyone's different taste. A lot of comedians will bring notes up on stage. And they'll have them on the...
Is that taboo? Like, say if you do bring that up in a comedy...
It is with
do you lose
me.
points?
But I understand why, especially if it's a straight up open mic room where a lot of even established people are
doing
trying new stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of forgive it, but I've actually seen it happen in a professional room environment.
And it's not part of their gig that they need it.
No.
So if you have to pay with a note to get in, they shouldn't be playing with a note when you're on stage.
Yeah. And I understand that sometimes nerves can get you.
I mean, if you were going to get your car serviced and you paid the mechanic and he had the manual out, you'd be worrying, wouldn't you?
Especially if he was holding some parts in his hand and just went,
and he says, that Corolla there just doesn't go with this Hyundai manual. What's wrong?
Here's your car. That's a lunchbox. All right, here's your car, and that's a phone. Okay, I'm going somewhere else, please. Just walk out with a phone and a lunchbox. So you got Mackay. Where else you performing next? Corner somewhere?
Yeah, it'd probably be somebody I can corner on a tram. I've done a lot of lifts. People talk about it. Practice your elevator speech. I just do my set.
Right. I usually just go, does this rash?
It's great in those ones
infectious?
where you can hit the stop button without them seeing you too. So.
And then you just stare into their eyes.
Actually, I was in a lift with my daughter recently, and as soon as we got in the lift, she turns to me and just says, because normally I get into a lift and everyone looks out the door and I get in and face them.
Right.
And I say, you may be wondering why I've called this meeting. Or I launch into the national anthem.
Yeah, you just look at the person next to you and go, oh, dude, was that you? Oh.
Those are fantastic ideas. I still have to try those.
Yeah. I've always liked the one that, I wonder why you all called you here today. Oh, for me? Thanks. Anyway, where can people find out more about you? You got a website, a home phone number?
Yeah, you can look me up on the website and I'll do loads of freight for you anywhere around the country. Or other stuff. Right. Facebook, you can see me, YouTube.
Right. All right. Well, thank you very much for being on the show, and we'll be back with more Late Night Show right after this.
Thanks.